know if you can hear the rain, but as soon as I was like opening the door of the truck, the rain just kind of, and I'm like, woo, you know. And this camera, this is not like my cell phone that I use. This is a Canon, and it is big and clunky and chunky. And I'll be honest with you, when I first started YouTube, I was like, ew, I don't like the people using their phones, and the phone is kind of small and it's really hard to edit, so it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I wanted to try to get a better camera. My birthday was recently. Okay. I like 35 for like a decade or more, so I thought maybe this year I'd allow myself to turn 36 this year, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if we like it. If not, I'll go back to 35 next year. In Steel Magnolias, Dolly Parton said, one of these days eventually you learn that time marches on, and eventually you learn that it marches right across your face. I'm like, oh, look at me. I met up with a friend who just happened to be on the same route I was, so he said to me, hey, let's find something to do. We'll go grab an Uber, you know. I'll take you to dinner, that kind of thing. So we were both able to fit in 34s, which was awesome. Totally unplanned. And so this sounds crazy, but if you saw the title, Superman was a murderer. Yes. This year is the 40th anniversary of Superman 2. Now, kind of nostalgia. I was a little tiny Kearsey back then, and so, you know, it's a movie that you grow up with, and it's on the IMAX theater. They're making a big deal about, they're promoting it and stuff, so I think that it seems as though movie productions have slowed down for the big screen because of COVID, so some of these theaters are using old movies to put in the theaters now that some places are opening up. They don't really have the new movies, so you know. Okay, Superman 2. We get there. I forgot my phone, so I have no pictures, but it was so crazy. It looked like, I don't even know. It looked like a political rally, okay? It really did. It was a big controversy. Apparently, one group is bashing Superman because he was a murderer. Yes. I never realized Superman was a murderer. But I'm going to assume that this is not a spoiler alert for a movie that's 40 years old. If you watch the movie, at the end of the movie, there's 3 villains. And I know you guys will remember this movie because there's a little skinny guy that was General Zod. And then there was this mute guy who was big and scary looking, and the actor was actually a professional wrestler, I believe. And then there was this hot looking chick with, like, you know, black leather boots all the way up her legs and slits down her arms, and, you know, a slit of all the way down to her navel so that her cleavage was hanging out. Yes, see, I knew you would know it now. Yes, you remember that with the cleavage, yeah. At the very end, Superman tricks them and takes their superpowers away. And they're up in an Arctic home of Superman. It all looks like glaciers and stuff. It's kind of cool looking, but it's supposed to be a replica of Krypton, where he's originally from. And they were also from. So this was like the 3 people were enemies of Superman's biological father, who died back on Krypton. Okay, so he steals their powers. They turn into regular humans, and before you know it, they go to fly, or they get kicked off this side of the glacier, and they're presumed dead, because now they're human, and they went to fly and just fell into the abyss. Apparently, the filmmakers made an additional ending. That ending was supposed to be the real Superman, because what is Superman? Truth, justice, the American way. Law and order. You know, you don't just kill people. And so there was a whole group of people saying that movie was fake, and it wasn't in character with Superman. And the secondary ending that was filmed had the criminals in the back of a cop car being taken off to prison. So the one group was saying, that is really what Superman would do. We was robbed. We was robbed when Superman became a murderer, right? But the other group, I swear this is true, the other group was protesting that Superman did this in self-defense. So he's not considered a murderer because... Okay, you guys wanted to know what the life of a trucker is? Yes, I was in the middle of a protest of people who were shouting, he's a murderer, no, it was self-defense, you know, give him the chair, that kind of thing, over a movie that's 40 years old. I'm going to get killed in the middle of this protest. And my friend's going, well, that's an interesting birthday. It was an interesting birthday. But you owe me. You owe me. You know, you got to kind of get, when you're out here for as long as we are, you kind of have to make it a point to get off the truck. You have to make it a point to fit in me time. Everything out here has to be scheduled. Everything. And I've said this before, your laundry, your showers, your eating, your trip planning, I've been trying to get my wisdom tooth pulled since October, and I finally found a surgeon that will do it, a dentist's office, so I have an appointment tomorrow. I have another appointment next month, August 14th, which means I have to make sure that I'm back in the terminal again next month around the same time. And these are things that people take for granted. It's a different lifestyle, and it's funny because I think I might do a video like the difference between Northeast people and Southern or even Midwest people. Probably Northeast and the rest of the country. It's probably what it's going to be. Northeast and the rest of the country. Because it's a lifestyle change, but it's kind of a culture shock. I did talk about this in another video if you want to check that one out. But just little things that I start to pick up over time, and even dating and talking to each other, people from different areas interact differently, and there's certain things that are acceptable in one area that aren't acceptable in others, or expected in some areas and not expected for others. So, you kind of get these people together from two different cultures, and they don't speak the same language at all. It might be English, it might be American English, and it's just not, there's like a total disconnect of understanding. And I'm learning that with a friend of mine from the South, and it's like every once in a while I know I shock the heck out of him, and he goes, oh. And he'll say, my God, I don't know what to think of you. If you know who and what you are and what you want out here, the lifestyle's not going to change you much, but you might have to adapt your expectations a little bit. I have people who come out here and they think, oh, I'm going to make $1 million. No, you're not. Sorry. They come out here and they think, oh, I'm going to travel the whole country and it's going to be beautiful and I'm going to get to go and visit all these different places, and it's like, no, you're not. You could take a couple days here and there as a company driver, but you got to spread it out because you earn time off, but you got to make it so that it doesn't impede with your home time, so maybe try to get 34 or something. I saw some of the museums around here opening back up, and the aquariums and the safari parks and stuff like that. As a lease driver, you feel like you have the freedom to do that, but then there's kind of always that nagging feeling about, oh, I gotta make my revenue, I gotta get the next load, I have a friend whose wife had a whole list of all the different places in the country that she wanted to visit and stop off at. But then the husband was sitting there going, no, we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. And she's like, hey, the only reason I even came out here with you was because I wanted to do this stuff. And, they're teaming, and she wants to get things done and see stuff, and he just wants to make money. If you saw Superman 2, which ending would you prefer? The one where they die, or the one where they get carted off to the cops? And let me know down below, do you think it was self-defense where he basically took their powers away, which then in turn killed them? Or was it even killing? Was it manslaughter? Let's argue the case of Superman today. But thanks guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I hope to see you out here trucking along. Bye.